good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible? Hello? Okay. Um, I sent you in the WhatsApp group on assignment. Did you all get that? And you know what to do? Let me check how many of you have done till now. PCC, C2007, PEC. Okay. Okay, more many of you have done this. Others have not done. Okay. Okay, great. Assignment, your attendance will be here. Okay. So today we'll be talking about different jacking systems. Okay, like box jacking, pipe jacking, which we use in your tunneling purposes. Okay. So I'll share my screen now. Let me discuss with you all this substructure construction. Today we'll be discussing about the substructure constructions. So how we do that with precast ones, you can check that. Okay. Okay. So this substructure constructions, basically what you have to do in your construction substructure when you're constructing substructure construction. Basically here we are going to talk about the box jacking, pipe jackings, RCC box jackings. Okay, why? Because these are used in your underground construction works. Okay, like for tunneling you're using, or for any pipe systems, your underground piping systems. You are doing some underground water piping systems, or this thing, metro, for metros, etc. You need to have underground metro rails are also there. So for that, those substructures, you need your box jacking, pipe jackings for those kind of constructions. Okay, so you can see here the first one which we are talking about is our box jacking in the substructure construction related to underground constructions. Okay, so what is it? It is actually the box jacking. Is what? Box jacking is the process in which a precast RCC box or a rigid box is okay. So we have what? It is a process in which a precast RCC box or a rigid box is pushed into the soil with a help of hydraulic jacks. Okay, so you understood this thing, like box jacking. Here basically in the soil we are going to push a RCC box, precast or a rigid box. Okay, it is not intuitive method. It is non-intuitive method beneath the existing surface. So non-intuitive, that means it is not disturbing the existing surfaces when we do this box jacking. Okay, so it is more often used when a subway or a aqueduct. See why it is used, your box jacking, where it is used when we have to construct a subway or an aqueduct or an underground structure is to be constructed, then we can use our box jacking. Okay, it enables the traffic flow without disruption, because since we'll be doing underground the system, this is your soil layer where you are having the traffic flows are going from here, but you are trying to construct an underground here, underground suppose tunnel you are making, or underground water sewer pipeline you are making from here to here. Okay, so in that case, underground process will keep on going with the help of your box jacking, but without disrupting your this traffic, this upper traffic, without disrupting this traffic. Okay, so this is your box jacking. Okay, why we use what it is? RCC box jacking. What happens in that RCC box jacking is that the box section is designed and cast at the side. Okay, it is prepared, your that box which you're going to, because when you have that box, right, under the box you can do the construction. Or because how you will do, if you have soil surrounded all over, how you can make a tunnel, or how you can make any kind of structure inside that? So you will have to need some borders. So that border is nothing but your box. Okay, those boxes are prepared, precast on the site. It is prepared, and then they are they can also be transported to the site according to the requirement. Okay, if they are made, if that box RCC boxes are prepared off site, then they are transported to the site, and sometimes on the site itself it is there, you just not on the spot where it is to be pushed. Okay, so we can just, for a little transportation, with a little transportation we can. Okay, so what happens? The foundation boxes are jacked into the ground, designed to carry the dead and the life loads. Okay, so this is nothing but what we have already gone in the box checking, what we have understood, that thing is only for the RCC box. Why? Because your boxing can be RCC also. Okay, the formation boxes are okay, foundation box. Then the high capacity jacks are, obviously we are using the jacks for pushing those boxes into the underground soil. It hit the back and it pushes the box into the ground. A surface design tunneling shield is provided in front end. Okay, shield is provided on the front end of the this thing, the tunneling machine. Okay, yeah, I can go down. Okay, the box is jacked carefully through the earth. Now we are just discussing here. I'll be showing you some videos on that so that you'll have an idea like how this RCC box jacking, whether it be box jacking, whether it be pipe jacking, how they are actually done on the site. That those videos I'm going to show you just after discussing with you some of the points on box jacking and the pipe jacking. Okay, so box jacking, another point is what? Then the box jacking is boxes jacked carefully through the earth. Excavation and jacking are done in small increments and advances. Okay, on the go we don't. If we have to construct a pipeline, suppose from here to here, we don't at once. We don't construct from here to here. We don't insert the pipe from here to here or the box from here to here exactly. Okay, maybe this may be some kilometers or meters. Suppose it is 50 meter, if you say. Okay, suppose 59 meters. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to increase in small increments. We are going to push this, we are going to excavate, we are going to push, we are going to push like that. Okay, so measures should be taken to prevent the soil being dragged towards the box. Okay, so RCC box jacking, there is one picture where you have, this is the box which is being pushed from here, and here this cutting edge auger kind of thing is there, which is cutting your soil from here, and then this is entering. Okay, with the help of jacks. There can be arch jacking also. This was box jacking. Arch jacking is nothing but this kind of round kind of um, like in the box jacking, the rectangular box or the square box we are pushing on the soil. In the same way, arched also we can, precast arched members also we can push. Okay, for the use for the foundation works. We have truss boring method. There are different methods. Truss boring method, what happens in truss boring method? It is the process of simultaneously jacking the pipe through the earth while removing the earth inside the box by means of rotating auger. Okay, here we are using rotating auger. Okay, as the jacking is done, what it is written, it is a process of simultaneously jacking the pipe through the earth while removing the earth inside the box by means of rotating auger. So here in this truss boring method, what is happening? Oh, we are excavating, right? We are excavating this. Suppose this is a soil underground. We, this is the above soil, this is below the soil. So in below the soil we have to construct the, we have to push the box, you say, suppose. So in that case, the jacking, when we do the jacking, we, here the soils are present, right? Here soil is there, here soil is there, soils are there. Okay, so what is happening when we do the jacking, when we inserting the pipe, as in the same time when we are pushing the sorry, when we are pushing jacking, so the jacking we are inserting the pipe, what is happening, we are using auger also. Auger is this circular kind of uh, machine is there, right? When we, this rotates and then the soil also rotates and comes out, it is a kind of digging machine. Okay, so what is happening when you're pushing this, your, this earth, what is happening, we are excavating this earth, we, this is entering, this machine jacking is done, and this, with the help of this auger which is present in the jacking, what is happening, these soils are also removed. Okay, excavated, and these are inside or on the outer portion, and it is removed with the, this thing, rotating auger. Okay, rotating auger, it is cutting the soil as also, and the same time this auger is cutting the soil and removing the soils. Okay, in unstable conditions, the end of the auger is kept retracted inside the encasement so as not to cause voids. In stable conditions, the auger can be successfully extended beyond the encasement. So there will be some encasements where you are, this is the encasement where you need to remove the soils. So in stable conditions where there is no movement, okay, no other soil disturbance is done, then what can be done? It can be, the auger can be successfully extended beyond this encasement. Okay, but in case of unstable conditions where we are feeling like the soil can come down, they don't have any retaining wall or something like that. In case of any unstable conditions, when we check this auger, we will stop till here only, till the encasement. Okay, it will not go beyond the encasement. Problems encountered in jacking, there will be some problems encountered in jacking, which is these three are the problems, main problems. Like, you know, when we are doing the jacking, what is happening, we are removing the underground soil, so obviously settlement of the above ground here, there may be structure also, there may be some buildings also, there may be some buildings, there may be some roads with some cars, etc. Right? There may be some cars or roads. So what is happening when we are removing with the help of auger or something? We are removing the soils. What is happening? We are giving settlement. There may be some settlements into this ground. This ground may move slightly down. Okay, so there may be settlement. Then there can be, these are problems, but may not be always, but there are kinds of problem. This kind of problems may occur during your jacking. So there can also be seepage of groundwater. Okay, so there will be groundwater here, suppose beneath the, from this is the top of your ground, this is the beneath your ground. So below the ground, what is happening, if you excavate more and more, your underground water may come up. Okay, there may be some seepages also. And then the next problem that you can encounter in your jacking is your caving in of the soil. Okay, so there can be, suppose you are jacking here, right here, this is suppose this is a hill, suppose, and you are here one road was there, and then underground tunneling is done here also. What you can do, caving in of the soil, you can make some caving kind of portion also here on the soils. Okay, so it can happen, that means, because when you're jacking, it can have some extra cavings here. Okay, so this can be the problem in which can be encountered in your jacking. Also another problem which can be there. Okay, not problem actually, these are the problems, these three are your problems, but how we can, and how we can resist these problems, or how we can give a solution to this problem, is that one solution is your freezing of the ground. What we do is, in this method, what we do is, when this method is used when we encounter the problem of groundwater seepage and settlement of the ground. For these two, for the settlement and the seepage, for these two problems, settlement and seepage, what we do, we use freezing of the ground. Okay, in this method, what happens, a brine solution is continuously passed through the pipes fixed in the soil. Okay, the temperature of the brine would be minus 30 degrees Celsius. So when the brine solution is circulated through these pipes, it freezes the ground and the ground behaves like an ice block. Okay, so understood this thing. When, what happens when you are when you're making the, when you're doing the box jacking or pipe jacking, etc., what is happening, your your ground above, your ground which is above may settle, or there may be seepage. In that case, what we do, we freeze the ground, all the grounds around the pipes, or you know, the box. So for that, what we do, we use this brine solution which is continuously passed through the pipes. And what happens, it is at a very low temperature, which is minus 30 degrees Celsius, and that's your, that brine solution, it will circulate through the pipes, and what it will do, it will freeze the ground. The ground will behave like an ice block. Okay, the spacing of the freezing pipes will vary according to the soil, according to the type of soil, its permeability and other factors. Generally it is kept at a spacing of 1.2 meter. So there are brine solutions, how they are sent to the those areas is through the pipes fixed in the soil, right? So with the help of those pipes, your soil is going to behave like an ice block. Okay, so the spacing between those pipes can be 1.2 meter. You can keep that spacing to be 1.2 meter. Okay, but there are also problems when you're freezing your ground. There can also be some problems, so there you have to be very careful in that when you're freezing your ground. Why? Because there can be, what you know, when you're freezing your ground, suppose this one, the main problem in the freezing method is what, upheaving of the ground surface. So suppose this is your ground. Okay, Suppose this is your ground. I'm just giving an example. Suppose this is your one house, or other different buildings are also there on the above the ground. Okay, through this, or you can say on road is there, many cars are there. Okay, you have to uh, do this thing. You have to do the jacking and underground something you're creating. You're creating the pipe tunneling, you're doing a pipe jacking you're doing, suppose. Okay, so you need to enter this pipe jacking you have to do. So what you do, you want to because the soil may come down, and it may become unstable. So what you're doing, you'll try to freeze. You'll put some small pipes here, etc. uh, okay, so that with the brine solution, so that your this surface will behave as ice block. Okay, but what is the problem in that? Upheaving means, so this soil, this particular soil, when this will become like ice block, if this behaves like an ice block, this is going to become solid, right? It will become like solid. It will have little more volume, so what will happen, because it will the size or the shape of this portion will increase, your due to this soil behaving like an ice block. This can increase the level to here. So it will happen, what your this soil may raise up little bit. It may raise up, due to which your these structures or the any pavements, etc., whatever is there, they may be affected due to this upheaving of the ground. Upheaving means little bit, it goes up due to this uh, transformation of the soil into ice block. Okay, to avoid the upheavement problem, we should be very careful in ground freezing process and the temperature of the brine solution. Okay, so there is also a case study here on Southern Boston Fire Transit Way, where here what happened. This was a Russian building, 100-year old, 2-meter thick soil was frozen here. Underpinning was also done using my mini piles. So this was Boston in Boston. This was a building, 100-year-old Russian building. Here what happened, underground there was construction, and this was underground. It was behaving like a brine solution was given, and it was behaving like a ice block. Okay, and then other construction was done underground, whatever they had to do. Okay, so this was the plan of your Russian building. It is not clear, this image is not clear, so we'll leave. So we have advantage of using this is timely completion of the project, no disruption of traffic, no need to divert the traffic. Disadvantages is what? Cost of the project increases. Your skilled person are required here. Safety precautions to be done very properly. Okay, but when we do this, there is less, very much minimal disruption is there, disturbance is there in your traffic. Okay, we don't need to divert the traffic. Otherwise, what happens when we are doing some tunnel construction or any kind of constructions, underground construction, so many things have to be kept here, and then you have to dig this like that, some things are there. So you have to divert this flow of traffic to that side. Okay, you will give a barrier here somewhere on the top of the ground, and this cars which are coming, vehicles, they have to move, they have to divert, we have to divert the traffic. Okay, so that is not in this case. So another thing is what? Pipe jacking. Okay, let me, it will become very boring otherwise. So let me show you some videos on your box jacking. Okay, this will come to the pipe jacking. Okay, so before that, this is the pipe jacking. Let me show two videos to you on your box jacking. Okay. Um, I'll share now. Okay. So this is your box jacking will be done in this video. It will be shown, okay, practically where it was done. In some place Norway it was done, so we'll just check out. So this is the phase one. This is the plan where in the first you will do this construction of this first box, and then the box one after this is made. See here. This is the first phase, okay, where there are three I was talking construction position. Here, construction position is this. Here we are going to make that underground box tunneling. Okay, this will be done. So this is the plan. Here, this is the first box precast. No, it is precast. So what will happen? This is the first block construction position, and then from here, this will be pushed. This first box will be pushed. Okay, then pushing is completed. Here you see in the third phase, here pushing is completed. Then the second one is also pushed here in the second phase. This is brought here, second box. Then second box is pushed, and then the second box pushing is finished. Okay. Total weight is this much. Total jacking capacity is this much. Total length was 90 meter of that tunnel. You can see. And you can see these are the boxes which were constructed here, and this will be pushed now. Partial traffic shutdown was done here. So this side you see the here this one sheet piles are removed now. After that this will be entered. This box will be pushed. So this is being pushed slowly and slowly. This is halfway done. 6 tracks closed. 24 hours non-stop walk starts, and then this pushing was done. See the jacks are used here. This is on the end portion where the excavation is done, so that this can be pushed. This here, here this side excavations are done, and then they are being pushed from here. They are already made your box. Okay, box are already made, and then with the help of jacking, they are pushed slowly. And here these excavations are going on slightly when you're pushing, and again this excavation, and again pushing like that. It takes quite a long time. Lateral push segment. Okay. So now you are looking here, these are being removed, and then again now this one is pushed towards laterally, pushed towards this side so that it can join this portion. See, this being pushed from here. You see here these pipes, this blocks were used for pushing easily so that this will slide, this box will slide, and then once this box was pushed till this length, it was pushed, and then these are again removed. Now again this box is pushed this side now, after removing this all, and then what is happening, they'll again push this also. Okay. Full length pushing is being done. See the how the pushing is done. Movement is happening. Also, due to the movements when you're pushing, some earth fields also might be entering into those boxes. So materials are being removed from inside. Okay. This is your box. This was your box. This one is your box which was pushed, right? These soils, because when you're pushing from the front side, your soils are entering in the box. So those are being removed from these with the help of these trucks. Second one is being pushed. Pushing completed. So this was the first method, first box checking method used in this place, particular place. Okay. So this was your another one also similar to this only, so that you have more clear idea on box checking. Okay. Another box checking. This one. These are some of the projects. This is in Doha. Okay. 57 meters they are going to construct. Okay, 15.10 meter it was. Jacking phases are this one. See the pushing direction is shown here. So this one, this box, these are the box which are to be moved from here to here. So what they are doing, this first one is made and then they are pushing this one without hampering the traffic on the above surface. So in this way your box jacking is done. First one, its segment weight is this much. 10.2000 tons. 200-meter pushing is done. Lateral pushing. So lateral pushing once it's done this lateral pushing, now they'll push this side after joining these two together. The jacks are used. You're looking this thing when this were entered. No, this was the boxes which were entered or pushed, you can say, and on the front side where it was pushed, as well as when they were pushed after that these excavations were also on the same time going on. Okay, and this were removed from the inside of the boxes. This is the box. This is the final position on the outside, which will connect this side to the roads. This one, these were used now. This box tunneling was done from here, here, here. It is going to come and join this road on the downside. Okay. So this was your box tunneling. So another one is your pipe tunneling, where we insert, this was the box for huge structures you need to construct, or bypasses you need to construct. There will be pipe jackings also. In pipe jacking, about this technique, micro pipe jacking, what is that, we are going to learn about that. Okay, so let's just go. Okay, I'm having 5 minutes still. I'll show you. So this is your pipe jacking, for pipe jacking pipes, these pipes are inserted, okay, on the ground, and then ours may be here. So they are going to, with the help of these pipes, these excavations are also done. Machine will be rotating, excavations will be done, and then all those soils will be coming out. Okay, about now to know about this technique micro, it is generally referred to as your micro tunneling, where we use the pipe tunneling. Okay, this is micro tunneling. Pipes are pushed through the ground behind the shield using powerful jacks. Okay, pipes are pushed through the ground. Okay, like we used to push the boxes there. Here we are pushing the pipes. Okay, simultaneously excavation takes place within the shield. Okay, but here uh, in the pipe, what we are doing in the pipe tunneling or pipe jacking, what we are doing, as the pipe is inserted on the ground, along with the pipe, excavation also is done, and then it is pushed, excavation is done all together. Okay, this process is continued until the pipeline is completed. The method provides a flexible, structural, watertight, finished pipeline as the tunnel is excavated. No theoretical limit to the length of the individual pipeline. There is no limit. You can make how much longer pipelines you need, you can make. Okay, pipe ranges from 150 mm to 3,000 mm diameter can be installed. That's why they are known as micro tunneling. Okay, thrust wall is provided for the reaction of the jacks. In case of poor soil, the thrust wall may punch inside the soil. Then piles or ground anchoring methods can be used. Okay, so anchoring method can be used if your soil is poor on the sides. Okay, so this was your pipe tunneling. I will show you one video also, but before that, let me share you your this thing, the link for your attendance. Okay, we are having some minutes, few minutes. I'll show you video also. Mm, attendance. So your link is here. You can go to the link and you can give your attendance. Till then, let me to share with you one of the video on pipe jacking. What is your pipe jacking? Micro tunneling pipe jacking. Okay. Go and give the attendance, as well as you can look this video also now. Okay, this is the video on micro tunneling, or you can say pipe jacking. Okay. Sewer pipeline is going to be installed here. Okay, there are so many traffics flowing, but still we need to construct the pipeline also, sewer pipeline. So what is done, all the steps are written here. Mini jacking section is in main. This is the jacking, this is the jacking. Tunnel boring is done through this pipeline. Okay, jacking pipes are installed. This is pushed through this with the help of this jack. Okay. In this way, it is going on pushing, pushing, pushing. This you don't need to know. Okay, this is the pipeline. You see how long it is? It is going with the help of jacking. It is going on pushing, 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 and so long. Intermediate jacking stations are also made there so that they can be useful for pushing it. And this is the end portion. And after the end portion is reached, with the see there is minimal traffic. You can see there is this when we use this kind of pipe jacking, right, for sewer pipelines, for construction of sewer pipelines underground, we are not hindering the traffic upwards on the upper soil, okay, or pavements above the pipeline and above the underground soil. It is also leak proof because okay, these pipes are leak proof. Minimal traffic disturbance is done. This is the end portion. From here, see the pipes were inserted. No, it was pushed with the help of the jacking, and when this end portion comes, this each pipes are removed again. Okay, see this one, smaller construction machine, less excavation material is used. These pipes are again taken up after the excavation is